symptoms may be effective, but they aren't without risk of serious adverse events. Estrovera from Metagenics offers a safe approach and the strongest natural choice for menopause relief for women at any stage of menopause. Estrovera features a novel botanical extract known as ERR731 that has demonstrated efficacy for hot flash relief comparable to low-dose hormone therapies. This unique extract has been safely recommended for relieving a wide range of menopausal symptoms since 1933 in Europe and is available in the U.S. by Metagenics. Estrovera works so well for so many women that there's even a money-back guarantee. Ask your medical doctor, chiropractor, or nutritionist about Estrovera from Metagenics today. Or for more information,
10 seconds.
Go to Metagenics.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It's KABC's new kid in town, author, lecturer, and nutritional supplement guru, Adam Harman. For the next hour, he'll be unleashing the power of natural medicine and conscious living. So listen up, America. It's the Adam Harman Show.
Whoa, it's so good to be back. I can feel the electricity in the air. And the bottom line is, this is the Adam Harman Show, and you're listening to LA's first stop for natural medicine and conscious living. You know, we have so many different guests on the show, but today's guest is really wonderful. We have an amazing show tonight. It's all about harnessing the infinite wisdom of indigo children. Indigos. What an interesting name. I thought that was just a color, right? No. I knew it was more than that. But indigos, if you're not familiar with the term, they're a new breed of special young adults and children who are much wiser than their years. Those precocious types. They're stronger, smarter, more intuitive, and many times don't conform to the rules. They actually make their own rules. And according to spiritual luminaries, these indigos are here to change the planet. Ooh, that sounds pretty intense, right? Our guest today knows all about these indigos because she herself is actually one of them. Cosette DeMille is an author, astrologer, YouTube personality, and vegan activist who wrote her first book at, get this, 8 years old. Wow, this kid's advanced. She went on to become a published author at the age of 16, and now, at 17, she has 2 books published on Amazon, including the one we're going to be talking about today, entitled The Millennials Guide to Infinity. Cosette DeMille, welcome to the Adam Harman Show.
Thank you, Adam. Good to be here.
Oh, my goodness. You know something? Let's just head on over you to there. You know, we are so happy to have you. We have so many questions for you. I've known you for a little while here, and I've watched you progress and just been in awe and amazement because most kids, I'm use the term kids. I'm sorry. This is old fogey time. Sorry about that. Most kids actually are wondering about what they're going to do for prom. They're wondering about what they're going to be saying to that mean girl at school, you know?
Yep.
I got so many questions for you. You're only 17 years old, and you're already writing your 3rd book. You're on your way. You're such a real go-getter. I mean, what motivates you on a daily basis? What gets you up in the morning? What makes you get out there and do all this stuff?
You know, Adam, I think what really does it for me is just wanting to change the world. That is my daily motivation. So many of us see what's happening and want to make a difference. Really, you just have to believe that you can, believe that it's possible.
Literally just standing there and, I remember I used to call it starry-eyed, I used to like be standing there and going, something, I'm going to go out there and just knock them dead and so on and so forth. But, I got pulled back into the fray of things. I got pulled back into worrying about if I'd make it to the soccer team, worrying about if I'd make friends with this group of people that were the cool kids. I mean, the bottom line on the whole thing is you're really taking action here. When it comes down to it, what do you do on a daily basis to start out your day?
Well, really, it's daily meditation. That is my go-to. It gives me the fuel and energy I need to get things done, to really finish my projects. I always meditate right after waking up and before I even touch my phone or any other technology. It helps me go back into my dreams and really receive any messages that came through.
I think it's so interesting. I'm hearing so many different things about this group of millennials and especially these indigos within that millennial group. They're so advanced. They're really working towards like this brighter future here. And I want to first of all say I really appreciate where you're coming from and the work you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, let's talk about your second book, The Millennials Guide to Infinity. What led you to write it, and you know, tell us the story that led up to that.
Well, my second book is definitely directed towards millennials, and I believe everyone should read it. But I made sure that when I wrote it, anyone could pick it up and understand where I'm coming from. I've learned that things have to be simple for people to understand them.
So this simplicity of this book, I actually read that book, by the way. I read the book, and I was so impressed by it. There we go, for our fans out in YouTube and Facebook land, as she waves the book in front of the camera. I was so impressed by it that I consented to be able to write the testimonial on the back. Basically, there we go, little testimonial action as she waves once again. You know, folks, you got to sign on to our YouTube channel, by the way. It's the Adam Harman, that's Harman show on YouTube. And you get to be able to see Cosette because she's just this wonderful, brilliant, glowing person. But when I read it, I literally was set aback. I was put back into my seat. And I realized that this was almost a mantra for a new age of consciousness. I mean, you know, this book in and of itself, I mean, how did you get the information out? Did you, like, channel this stuff? What's going on here?
Well, I'd like to believe that it was channeled. You know, we have so much great knowledge inside of us, and we can just let it pour out when we simply just trust and surrender to the flow. And really, the book is all about expanding your infinity. And what that means to me is just lifting the limitations that have been placed onto us our entire lives and breaking free from society's standards. We come into this world of rules and restrictions, and as we awaken, we have to learn how to escape them. It's about creating your own rules to life because there simply are none.
My goodness, wow. I'm getting this chill up my spine. You're giving me a chill, young lady. Like somebody leave the window open in here?
I don't know.
What is going on here? You know, I mean, this girl is 17, but I've listened to her talk before. Actually, there was this one festival that I listened to her at, and she was in charge of doing this meditation in front of a large, massive group of people who were milling around. And all of the other speakers were much older. And she, like, all of a sudden got up there like this crazy lion and just basically demanded respect. And these people jumped in line, sat down, and started staring at her intensely. And it's almost like, and I'll say it, if you're not going to say it, I'll say it, there was this being that was channeled through you. And it was absolutely wild.
Wow.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of great paradigm shifting in this book, you know. And bottom line on this is I'd love you, if you could, to be able to read your favorite excerpt or two from the book. Is this something you could do?
Absolutely.
Please.
Okay, so this is from page 55 from a section called Spiritual Awakening.
Aha.
So here it goes. Our species is experiencing a metamorphosis. Most of humanity is currently awakening to their truth, becoming aware of the fact that they are in complete control. We are morphing ourselves back into the oneness that we have always been. The time to heal is now. We are all in this together. A problem can't be solved unless people recognize there's one in the first place. We can only unite once we know how divided we truly are. The collective is making this realization so that we can come together in love, because love is the answer. Spread love to everyone, and everywhere you go, bring it with you.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah,
Duffy, we have Duffy Leroy in the audience here.
Yes, I'm here.
My good, Duffy was standing there with this like look on her face, like how old are you? Say
Right?
what?
That was magic.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious! Oh, okay. We're gonna bring it back to you again. You got something else for us? Come on, give us something else.
Okay, page 71, a section called Governmental.
Ooh, interesting. Sounds sort of semi-mental here. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Shoot.
There is no political solution for a spiritual problem. Have you ever thought about why it's called government? Governmental. govern your mental. Take back control. Reign the temple of your mental. They are just afraid of our mastery. People only look outside of themselves for guidance when they don't feel content within. When you give yourself validation, you won't search for it from anyone else. You know what you want to do with your life. How is some politician going to know us better than we know ourselves?
Wow. That's Dovey.
I'm very impressed. This is amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing, especially for the age group that you're in. This is exactly what people really need to. They need to read this.
Thank you.
For
Yeah.
sure.
On Amazon 1111, you can just type in my name.
Cosette.
Oh, we're gonna let you have that. We're gonna allow you to have that shameless plug in a couple of minutes, young lady.
Shameless self promo.
Same shameless self promo. Oh my goodness gracious! You know, the bottom line on the whole thing is that this book, as I was reading through it, was literally an eye-opener for me, because so many of the things that I felt in my life and that I've even lectured on have really come alive in this. When people read this book, I recommend, since there is power in sound and word, to read it out loud. This is an amazing book. This is the Millennials Guide to Infinity. You know, we're heading into a news break right now, so don't touch your dial. We will be back with more of Cosette DeMille and our conversation about her new book, The Millennials Guide to Infinity. Ooh, we are back. And you are listening to The Adam Harman Show on Talk Radio, 790 AM, KABC. You know, we're here again with 17-year-old author Cosette DeMille. Still can't believe I'm saying 17-year-old author. I feel like we're dealing with embryonic author. No, 17-year-old author. She has 2 books. 17-year-old author Cosette DeMille. She's talking about indigos, millennials, and her latest book, The Millennials Guide to Infinity. I highly recommend it. Cosette, thank you for joining us again on the show.
Thank you, Adam.
Oh, my goodness. You know something? I have so many questions, but this is a good one I want to be able to ask. I mean, literally speaking, what do millennials and these indigos bring to this planet at this time of, political and social turmoil? I mean, what are they doing here? There's a reason for everything.
Well, Adam, I think we're the change that the earth needs right now. We are here to heal her, and as she heals, we heal. But I don't think it's just millennials that are shifting paradigms. I think it's all of us who are creating this new paradigm in this new earth. We are collectively creating the new world we want to live in, and it will always start with you. So be conscious of your actions. Be conscious of what you're creating, because we are always creating.
Well, that certainly is the truth, that we are creating these things. Mm-hmm. But something, some people are under this belief that they have no effect on things. Mm-hmm. I'll talk about that at the end on the Be the Change moment. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there like, yeah, what can I do to make a big change? Mm-hmm. And I mean, what's your response to that?
Well, those people that think they have no effect, that their actions don't mean anything, I tell them that is completely opposite. Everything you do has an impact. So that's why we have to be conscious of our actions, because they have an effect on the people around us. They have an effect on our planet that we live on. So yes, everything you do matters. Don't believe that you never have an effect, because you do. You are constantly creating. That's very, very insightful. Once again, we are creators created by a creator. Absolutely.
Okay, which
The
makes
circle.
which makes creation
Yes.
the circle.
The infinity spiral.
At this point, can I sing the circle of love? No,
You
I won't.
actually
Please don't.
could.
No, I won't do that to the audience. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it now or ever. Okay. So the bottom line is I also know that you are quite a big advocate of veganism. How do you feel about making that choice? How'd you make the choice? How's it feel to be a vegan? Why should people be vegans?
Many, many good questions.
And another question, how do you think it affects their ability for their intuition and connection?
Okay. So I am definitely a huge vegan activist. I think the entire planet will thrive on a vegan diet. Because right now, animals are being produced for the initial purpose of consumption, and that is so not right. The majority of the Earth's pain comes from the pain of the animals, and we must heal her animals in order to heal her and heal ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
Animals want to live just as much as us. What makes their life less important than ours? How is a cow, chicken, or dog different from a cat? A cow, chicken, or pig different from a cat or dog? The truth is they're not. We've just been conditioned to believe that they are. We've been conditioned to believe that eating a cow is okay and a dog is not. Did you know that U.S. agribusinesses slaughter 10 billion animals per year? That's
Ouch.
19,000 animals per minute. And all of that pain from the animal goes into us when we eat it. So if you're wondering why you feel pain or fear, well, ask yourself, what are you eating? Are you eating pain and fear? What are you consuming?
I think these are really big questions. I have to be honest, and I might get some bad emails about this one, but I think
Prepare.
transparency is important here, as I've been known to eat a steak every once in a while. Okay.
And that is okay.
Okay, and I see somebody from the control booth who's saying hoot hoot hoot. Yeah, I see a fan of one of our local establishments of burgers. I will not mention a brand name for the fear of all sorts of great lawyers. But the bottom line on the whole thing is I mean, what do you say to people out there who are saying, hey, here's a concept. Okay, I'm gonna throw it out at you. What do you say to someone who's saying, listen, I'm part of the food chain. It's a natural thing. I mean, what do you say to that one?
It's a very interesting perspective, and I have learned to listen to every perspective and every opinion and take it all in, to form my own. However, I don't think the food chain argument applies here because these animals are being tortured. Nobody deserves to be tortured. It is cruel what is happening. And back when we were hunters and gatherers, we would kill a buffalo. We would kill one buffalo a year, and we would use every part of it. That is not how things are being done now. So,
Yeah, I can see. Hold on a second here. Let's take a deep breath here now.
let's all inhale.
Let's just take a deep breath in the moment, because I can see that there's a lot of concern about that on your part, and I think people should be concerned about that. I mean, if you take a look at a little bit north of LA, there's lots of processing for meat up there. I mean, imagine if that was your loved ones up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's they call it Cowschwitz, okay? Yeah. And the smell that comes out of there, and just the feeling that comes out of there is literally horrifying. So Cosette, I'm on board with what you're saying here. And I do appreciate that. Can you just give me a little insight, though, on how you feel it's affected your intuition and your creativity to go vegan?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think by eating plants instead of animals, we gain a better connection with the earth and all she has to offer it. We honor her by doing so. When you stop consuming meat, your energy will increase as well as your mood. You will feel lighter and happier. And by choosing to consume life over death, you will become more in tune with everything around you, and Mother Earth will be proud of you. Food is a very personal choice, and at the end of the day, people are going to eat what they want. However, I don't believe animals are here for our consumption.
Well, you know something? I've got to respect your opinion on this. I know it's a really major growing opinion on the planet. I know people speak about really taking in the life force of vegetables and non-meat products. Dovey, what do you think about this whole thing?
So personally, I believe that mass production is actually one of the negatives that is on the planet.
Okay.
And back in the day, we were hunters and gatherers, like she explained. And when we were hunting, we didn't have like cameras or anything to be able to see where these animals are. Their ears are magnificent. They can hear you. They'll run. It's just like what she said, you'll gather within once a year. So I don't think it's a problem to eat meat. I think it's a problem with the mass production of meat to be able to take away the naturalness of how the planet should flow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But one funny fact is that apples used to not be as sweet, and we used to not eat them, and then the trees made them sweeter so that we would.
That's
Interesting.
very
Right?
interesting.
Thanks for that fun fact.
Yeah, fun little
That's very
fact.
interesting. Nature is standing there going, you know something? You've been sort of nasty to us and you've been chopping us down, but we're going to give you supreme love and we're going to actually make the apples sweeter for you.
They're like, how will you like us more and not tear us down? Ooh, apples.
Apples. Or maybe they were plotting. The trees were plotting amongst themselves. And they were like, we're going to make these so sweet they'll all get diabetes and die. Die, will you?
Plan two. They're smarter than us.
That's way smart. Just because they move slow doesn't mean they don't have intelligence. Also, I mean, you're also an organizer for the conscious groups in Southern California. Can you tell us more about Infinite Indigos, one of the groups that you've created?
So Infinite Indigos is our tribe here in LA. And really, all I did was start an Instagram, and the tribe really built itself, with a lot of hard work, of course. At our first events, we had only a couple people show up, and I was getting pretty bummed, disappointed, thinking nobody was interested. But all it took was some patience and persistence, and before I knew it, I had a huge crowd, a huge tribe of people behind me, and I couldn't be more grateful. We're having an event actually on Saturday, February 17th from 2 to 5 p.m. We're hosting a vegan potluck and beach cleanup in Venice. If you're interested in attending, please reach out to Infinite Indigos on Instagram. That is INFINTI. Wait.
Infinite. And if you don't know how to spell infinite, you shouldn't be listening to the show. This is a test. This is a test of the emergency spelling system. Infinite. Okay. That sounds great. Wow. It's interesting and also infinite. I've actually gone to one of those Infinite Indigos potlucks. And the food was amazing. I mean, I really, I'm standing here giggling and I have a silly face. So watch us on YouTube, The Adam Harman Show, and you get to see my silly face. It was so good. It was just amazing. I didn't realize I would totally dig vegan. I mean, everybody thinks that, and I'm going to have to chew on grass. I feel like a lawnmower. I'm a modified lawnmower now. And bottom line is I have to chomp on grass to be a vegan.
Absolutely not.
After a while, I'm going to go, no, that's not going to happen to me. But no, it was delicious. I mean, Cosette, can you talk a little bit about, vegan cooking a little bit for us? Just a touch.
Well, I've definitely been cooking at home more since eating out can get pricey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've just been playing around with what tastes good. I don't really follow any recipes. Maybe I should, but that's kind of the fun of it.
You're an indigo. You don't follow rules.
Exactly.
That is one of your rules.
Exactly.
You don't follow rules.
I'm a rule breaker.
You rule breaker. You're just a hard A, and then I'll have two hashtags after that. I can't say the word on air.
But yes, vegan food is amazing. It is totally a myth that vegans eat grass because we do not eat grass. We eat amazing gourmet food.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I love it.
That's great. It's a good thing. I really, really appreciate individuals who are willing to take themselves and put themselves against the grain, against society, and say, no, this is what you should do. It tastes good. Let's do that. Cosette DeMille, you are a trailblazer, girl.
Thank you, Adam.
There you go. And Dovey, you've done some really wonderful work in regards to working with animals and so on and so forth.
Yes.
I once had an experience with Dovey, and all of a sudden there was this group of dogs. And Dovey was just standing there, and all the dog owners were being dragged by these dogs to Dovey. She's actually a dog whisperer. It's very, very, very interesting to watch. Stay with us, folks. After this short break, we're going to be back, and we're going to have more of a conversation with our, once again, I'll say it again, 17-year-old author, Cosette DeMille. We are back. We are back, and you are listening to The Adam Harman Show here at Talk Radio 790 KABC. You know, we're here again with 17-year-old author, I always love saying that, 17-year-old author, of The Millennials Guide to Infinity, Cosette DeMille. Oh, my goodness, Cosette. It's actually so good to have you here. Are you happy to be here, Cosette?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you for
happy.
having me.
You know, it's so funny. If you take a look at us on YouTube right now, there's so many different things in the way of Cosette and I. So, Cosette, look at me over here.
All the way over there?
All the way over here. I feel like I'm somewhere in Arkansas. Come on, pull out that telescope and take a look at me, young lady. It's all good.
I'm not that far.
I'm not that far. Well, yeah, maybe I am that far. I'm 3 miles away. It's the magic of video TV and YouTube. You know, I still got so many questions for you here. I'm going to try to fit them in. You know, over the last year, you've really grown your social media presence in YouTube and Instagram. Can you tell us about some of your favorite video posts and where people can see them and your website? Just this is your moment. This is your moment. Go, be
shameless self-promo. Okay, here we go.
Shameless self-promo. And look at the camera, baby. Come on, there we go. All right.
So I post daily YouTube videos on my channel, Cosette DeMille. I'll spell it. I can get it right this time. That's COSETTEDEMILLE.
If you can't spell your own name, I'm going to come over there and just get you, girl.
I got that one
get
right.
You. Okay. And like, tell us, like, I've seen some really cool videos. Can you tell us about that one? It was called Exiting the Matrix.
Yes, the Exiting the Matrix. That is actually my most viewed video with almost 6,000 views now. In that video, I talk about this reality, this dimension, and how we can perceive it as a simulation, a complete illusion.
Wow. Wow. I feel like I'm in some, like, they have that Ready Player One new movie coming up. Am I in an illusion right now?
Oh, yes, we are in the Matrix right now.
We are in the Matrix.
This is it.
There you go. So you give them some insights as to how you can help them out and pull them out of that Matrix, the way out.
Okay, well, if you are interested in booking a reading with me, you can head over to my website. That's CosetteDeMille.com to book an oracle reading or natal chart or healing. And don't worry if you're not in the LA area. I also do long-distance healing.
Ooh, that's a good thing. There you go.
Yes.
I heard also that you went to China and you actually had a great video from China.
Yes.
Can you tell us what you have from China?
That was really racist.
Oh, that was just bad. That was no.
But I had so much fun in China. It was a blast. That's where I learned to edit my videos. I just, sat down and opened up iMovie and just went at it and taught myself everything I know now. I filmed an amazing video in Hong Kong of us just touring around, just having fun, and it was a blast.
You also have a great video on abundance. Can you tell us a little bit more about that one?
That is probably one of my favorite videos because my channel's just so open. And yeah, it's called How to Attract Wealth. And in that video, I talk about abundance and how it is simply a choice and a mindset, not a destination or an item to be attained. Abundance is in everything. It is all around us. It is not just money.
That's profound, girl.
Thank you.
I'm gonna deal with the profundity on that one.
Is that a real word?
No, I just made that up. Come on. Profundity. It sounds like something you would ask, and you can get profunding from this organization. No.
Oh, gosh.
Loans available through Profundity. There we go. So I also ask this question of all of my guests, and I want you to get into it and get into each one of these three things. What 3 simple. Now, it can't be like, I want you to start an organization and take over the planet. It's not like we're having anything from like Family Guy here or something. Little Stewie's like, take over the planet. No. What 3 simple things can people do right now to make our planet's vibration much higher, bring it to a higher frequency?
I like this question.
Ooh, now take your time with it because I want to suck all of the knowledge out of your head. Just
Okay. So I think one of the most important and paradigm shifting things we can do is to simply meditate. Meditation has brought me so many amazing gifts.
Did you say medication?
Meditation.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Meditation. Go ahead.
It has truly changed my life, and I just want to give it to everyone because it's simply just focusing your energy. And by making time for it, my life improved in every single area. I started to get all these psychic downloads, and I'd realize, like, I see all these synchronicities happening, seeing 1111, 222, all of these numbers, and not even just that, but being able to read people's minds and synchronistically having the same thoughts.
Wow.
You become more in tune with the environment and the world around you.
So you're like vibrating really high with all of the plants that you're eating, okay? And in addition to that, you're meditating every morning. That's pretty. What's another thing that people should do?
Well, I think another thing that can increase our frequency as well as the planets is by creating. You know, that is feminine energy, creation. And when we can become more in tune with that part of us, we really heal all of us and we become balanced, because creation is it is everything. You are creation. And whether you're a writer, whether you're an artist, a musician, whatever creation means to you, make sure that you're doing it every single day.
Wow, that's great. I always say that creators create creations. You know,
Yes.
we're created by this amazing oneness. You can call it God, you can call it Buddha, you can call it whatever you want to do, but we're created by this, and we're touched by it as well. And when we are touched by this greatness, we have a lot of its same characteristics. I feel that's why a man and a woman, when they get together, they can create something amazing called a child. Wow, that's a miracle. You know, they literally take and put together their energies and tap into the well of souls and bring down a child into that womb. And if you can do that, you are magical.
Absolutely.
And Cosette DeMille, I'd like to tell you, you right here, you're magical.
Thank you. Right back
my
at you.
goodness. There we go. I think it's really, really important. Could you tell our listeners also, you know, how they can get a copy of your book?
Well, if you're interested in purchasing a copy of Millennials Guide to Infinity.
And by the way, keep on holding that up there, girl.
Right here,
there we
here.
go. It's up on her shoulder. She looks like she's like, you know, Carol Merrill, if I'm speaking to an old group here. She's like doing the wave over the really nice Sears dishwasher, okay? But if you see it, it has this beautiful cover to it. It's this a rainbow galaxy. It's really great. That's another reason
that's
why
actually Andromeda Galaxy.
That's the Andromeda Galaxy.
I believe that's where I'm from.
Is that where you're from?
I think so.
Because, girl, you ain't from around here.
I don't think so.
I don't think you are
But
from
yes,
around here.
if you are interested in purchasing a copy of my book, it is available on Amazon for $11.11, as well as my first book. You can just type in my name, Cosette DeMille.
Cosette DeMille, and they're going to find you on Amazon?
Yes, you will.
How do you spell DeMille again?
DeMille.
It's not DeMille, it's DeMille with two L's, right?
Yes, correct.
There
correct.
we go.
And my next book signing is actually March 3rd at 4 p.m., and it will be at Mystic Journey Bookstore on Abbot Kinney. That is 1624 Abbot Kinney Boulevard in Venice Beach, California.
Wow. Well, that's pretty darn cool. You know, Cosette DeMille, I really, really appreciate all the work and the time that you put into really coming out with a message for people.
Thank you.
I think that this is a really great thing, that people should understand that they can do things. I mean, what would you say? What would you say to someone who says, I can't write a book. I can't get together a group of people. I can't do all this stuff. I'm just a teenager. Or many people who are older say, you know, I just can't do all of these things. What would you say to them?
Well, I would first say delete those beliefs, because that's where it starts, you know? Belief is everything, and you just have to believe you can do it. You can write a book, you can change the world, you can do anything, because you are infinite.
Oh, my goodness. And you know something, a lot of people talk about, you know, what is an indigo. Can you give your definition of what an indigo is?
Well, I think an indigo can be anyone, you know? It's not limited. If you want to be an indigo, you can be an indigo. An indigo is someone who wants to change the world. An indigo is someone who sees what's wrong, what's going on here, and wants to make a difference. And they believe they can. Just believe you can.
You know, I've heard so many people say that indigos are people who were born after 1982 all the way to now, and they have specific characteristics to them, and they came in like someone stamped the back of their head with some sort of passport sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from what I'm getting from you, what you're saying is being an indigo is more of an attitude. It's more of a direction.
Absolutely.
It's more of a willingness
to
really be a catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I really, really appreciate all the words that you come up. I highly recommend, I have read this book twice, by the way. I highly recommend getting this book. It is The Millennials Guide to Infinity. It's got the prettiest cover in the world I've ever seen, and a great picture of this young lady on the back. Once again, she's showing it for our YouTube people. Another reason for you to sign up on YouTube and subscribe to The Adam Harman Show. That's Harman, The Adam Harman Show. And get all these great videos, including Cosette DeMille. Oh, hold on a second. Are we getting close here? Are we getting close? Oh, my goodness gracious. We are getting close. We're getting towards a break here. You know something? This is a really, really great interview, but we got to end it here. You know, well, Cosette DeMille, it's the end, but not.
Thank you.
It's the end for now, but a beginning of new things. Thank you so much for being our guest today on the Adam Harman Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Cosette DeMille. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have a magical and mystical guest here on the Adam Harman Show. Edge of science, constantly looking for the next breakthrough discovery in the field of nutrition. So here it is. Imagine coffee that's actually good for you. Coffee that tastes great, that's non-acidic, rich in antioxidants, and fortified with a phytobotanical that's been proven to nutritionally support your immune system. Tens of thousands of Dr. Rakowski's patients and followers are enjoying guilt-free, super healthy, and delicious coffee every day. If you love coffee, you owe it to yourself to go to www.bettercoffeeshop.com. And when you get there, click on the Join Now button to find out how you can get this amazing coffee at wholesale prices. That's www.bettercoffeeshop.com. Now that's good coffee. Check it out today. Ooh, we are back. We've been having a great show today. W, we've been having a great show?
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness. We've been having a great show. Well,
yes.
Well, you're listening to Adam Harman Show, the Adam Harman Show on 790 AM Talk Radio, KABC. Oh no. Oh, it's that time again?
It is that time again.
Dum-da-da-dum. Well, then it's time for
The fabulous Dovey Leroy, Cosmic Astrologer.
I am feeling so ridiculously cosmic at this point.
Me too.
I mean, you know, we had ourselves an amazing guest on who talked about Millennials Guide to Infinity. Buy it on Amazon.com. And basically, we are so ready from the report of the planets and the moon and the stars and everything out there galactic. Dovey Leroy, take it away.
Okay, so we do have Mercury in Aquarius, sextile in Mars in Sagittarius. So your mental gears are really going to be turning during this time. And definitely expect out of the ordinary, like thoughts to be popping into your head. And these thoughts are going to be very active and open-minded. So that's going to be fun. And since you'll be able to use this different thought or different way of thinking to your advantage, you can be channeling it into, say, projects or creating. And since this is a time for mental stimulation, it will be excellent to be able to, you know, create with writing or anything that has to do with learning or anything under that radar. And Definitely stay physically active during this time to keep your mind cleansed because stubborn or opinionated thoughts can pop in there and cause blockages. And this stuck mental thinking can cause you to feel angry or annoyed or agitated.
We don't want angry, annoyed, or agitated on the show.
No, cut that out.
We actually live on an entire cup of chamomile tea here. This is the chamomile tea hour.
Yes. And
what else is happening?
we also have Venus in Aquarius, lots of Aquarius energy, squaring Jupiter in Scorpio. So this is about having fun and enjoying like loving socialness, I guess you would say. And one thing to understand, though, that this is not necessarily the time to be working on things because you are going to be so social. So you're going to be bouncing around, enjoying conversations with friends or enjoying hanging out with people. But be careful and make sure everything is in moderation. Partying, drinking, moderation, because having too much fun can get you in trouble.
You sounded like my mother here.
That's part of the Aquarian side, that rebellious
side. What time do I have to get home by?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.? You're a tyrant, woman.
Oh, I'm terrible.
There you go.
And then we also have Pisces entering Venus. And this
That sounds very watery.
Right?
Watery.
It's all watery, loving energy.
There you go. So what happens in Pisces entering Venus?
So this is a beautiful, unconditional, loving energy. And Pisces helps Venus express the absolute best of what she represents, which would be love and relationships. And Pisces is compassionate with no boundaries. So this is almost like a fairy tale love, and you really are going to want to be in love and be around love and fall in love. Love, love, love.
Once you wish upon a love.
Once you wish upon a love. And one thing, though, is that Venus in Pisces can fog our judgment to where we overlook our partner's flows. So instead of nitpicking your relationships, this would actually be a positive in a way.
Okay, all right, here we go. Show me some positives here.
Nitpicking their relationships.
I had nitpicking, I want to run.
It's like you have problems. No, but you may realize what you really got in the relationship. And
gratitude.
Mm-hmm. And the reason we'll be able to do this is your control will be cut off during this time. And letting go of control allows us a deeper and more meaningful connection to our partner and to feel its purest form of love.
Wow. I'm feeling like purity out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is feeling so marvelous. So what's your wrap up here, girl? I want a little bit of wrap up from you. What do people do in the week to come?
So pretty much just take it easy, understand the flowing energy, be able to express it, and really take it in and understand that there's not going to be that many complications happening this week, and you can get a lot done. And that open-mindedness can really come in handy with your creating and with your grounding.
Well, this certainly sounds like a free ticket to ride here. Oh, take it easy. Okay, so now that I've just tortured the audience.
With all your songs.
So, yeah, really, imagine that, So, how can people reach out to you? I know that each show you give out one free chart reading.
One free chart reading.
One free chart reading if they're the first person to contact you. Okay, so how can the people contact you?
You can contact me through www.DoveyLeroyAstrology.com.
How do you spell Dovey?
D-O-V as in Victor, I-E, just to make it easy.
Dovey Leroy. Leroy spelled L-E-R-O-Y, astrology.com. That's great. Yes. Dovey Leroy, it's always great.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we are at a very, very interesting point right now as it relates to the show itself. Having a little bit of technical stuff going on here, but we're going to get over that right now. And the bottom line is that we're ready for a special moment. It's called the Be the Change moment. It's very, very interesting. There was a wise man who once said that if you want change in this world, then you better be the change that you want to see in the world first. On today's show, we talked about indigos, these super kids with a mission to save the planet. But what can you do to make a difference in the world, you might be asking? Yeah, it's interesting. So many people have resigned themselves to the belief that they alone cannot make a difference. Well, you better listen to people like Cosette DeMille. She will not take that from you. And she also believes the same thing, that is stinking thinking, as one might say. So I'm going to give you 3 different things you can do to create joy and healing in your world right now. Isn't right now a good time? I think it's a great time. Let's start with something called divine witness and recognition. Well, that sounds like a good combination of things. We can witness all the greatness in people and we can recognize them for it as well. It's like getting an award. Try this with the next 10 family members, friends, or coworkers that you come in contact with. This is pretty simple, but boy, it works like a charm. When you're in the presence of those people, mentally focus on something that each of them is really good at. And in your mind's eye, see them feeling joyful doing that thing that they're really, really good at. When you're grounded in that thought, you got it in your head, you're focused on that one, look at them in the eye and sincerely compliment them for that skill or ability they possess. The energy created by this technique inspires others to embrace and appreciate their lives. It has a ripple effect that makes them want to appreciate others. And like the proverbial butterfly effect, I love that movie, by the way, The Butterfly Effect. It was great. Like this proverbial butterfly effect, 10 people doing this to the next 10, to the next 100, to the next 1,000, in just 30 days, do you know that you can positively affect 1 million people? Did you ever think that you could positively affect 1 million people? You can start this right away, and you can make a difference in 1 million fellow human beings' lives in 30 days. That's pretty cool, right? You can make a difference. Don't let anybody tell you anything to the contrary. Here's a second thing that you can do. For the next 3 days, ask a very special question to every person that you get into a conversation with. Here's the question, all right? You ready for this? Ask them, so what are you excited about or looking forward to these days? Wow, that's an interesting question, right? By doing that, you refocus people on the most revitalizing emotion that there is. Guess what it is? It's gratitude. Gratitude. You know, with gratitude, you can move mountains. Spread the vibration of gratitude. If it feels good, then don't stop at 3 days. Do it for the rest of your life. You could be an ambassador of global gratitude. You could reach out and touch so many people because guess what's going to happen? Is people are going to learn from you. They're going to learn from the things you do. They're going to use you as an inspiration, and they're going to move forward and make other people grateful. And the third thing you can do to make a huge difference in your world is to unleash the undiscovered magic deep inside you. That's right. You heard it. I said magic. We're not talking about something where you're going to go to a magic show. I'm talking about something deep inside you. Every human being possesses profound and magical abilities that are not something they're aware of yet, okay? Profound strength. Remember those stories about mothers lifting up their cars to save their children? Thousands of pounds, these 110-pound mothers. Those stories are real. They are documented. There must be something magical going on here. Profound intuition. Have you ever known something was going to happen before it actually happened? Think about it. You are magic. Face it and embrace it. I wrote a book called The Official Wizard's Training Manual, which teaches people how to tap into amazing abilities to heal others, heal themselves, and overcome immense challenges. On the show today, I am giving away a free copy of The Official Wizard's Training Manual. It's also available on Amazon.com, but I'm giving it away to the first 5 people who email me the words. Now, get it straight, folks. Show me the magic. Remember, like, show me the beef or something like that? Or show me the money. There we go. Okay. This one's show me the magic. I want you to send that email to staff at the Adam Harman Show. That's the Adam and spell Harman, Harman show.com. And you're going to get a free book. But if you miss out and you're too late doing it, I totally understand. Don't worry. You can just order the Official Wizard Training Manual on Amazon.com for just $11.11. You know, there are so many different things you can learn from that book. I had so much fun writing it, and I'd love to share it with you. Be one of those people who get a free book from me, please. All righty, that's great. Well, you know, it's time to change, get past that moment, okay, as it relates to being the change moment and get into that next segment of our show. And our next segment of show is really talking about conscious events happening in LA. I want you guys to understand the following, is that if you like sound baths, has anybody out there been to a sound bath? I'm seeing nodding of heads. We got one no, we got one yes. Oh, those sound baths are great. They got the singing bowls, you know. There is one that just blows them all away. It's on Friday nights at 8 p.m. You do not want to miss this. It's called Dynasty Electric's Singing Bowl event. It's being held at Mystic Journey Gallery, located at 1702 Lincoln Boulevard in Venice. That's 8 p.m. every Friday night at Mystic Journey Gallery, 1702 Lincoln Boulevard in Venice. And remember also, one other thing I wanted to remind you, the Conscious Life Expo is going to be coming back to L.A. You got to be there. It's at the LAX Hilton from February 9th to February 11th. Well, you know something? Once again, it is time to wrap up things here at the show. Make sure you like us and subscribe at the Adam Harman Show on Facebook and YouTube and see great posts and live streaming video. Tune in next Saturday night. We're going to be having a great conversation with numerologist Josh Siegel. This guy is great. He's awesome. He's brilliant. He'll turn you into a believer about the power of numbers. Make sure you tune in next Saturday night at 9 p.m. Well, until next time, all of us here at the Adam Harman Show would like to thank you for listening, and we hope you have a week filled with infinite love.